Do you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Howard Medlock, and I work as a communications and events manager for the Arts and Humanities Department at the University of Texas at Dallas.
And what does that involve?
That involves primarily we work with the faculty on doing their events for a season. So we have faculty members who are in charge of classical events, jazz, we have art, theater, dance, we have lectures. We also have guitar performances, and I'm sure I'm leaving one out. I apologize if I am, but the faculty members, they line up a group of artists and performers that they would like to see on the schedule for the year, and once it goes from that point, it goes to our director of events, and she makes sure that the dates are coordinated, and from there myself and our events coordinator, we actually execute the events and make sure that everything goes successfully for there, and we utilize student workers to help throughout the events.
How many student workers do you have working in the...
We have, as of tomorrow, we'll have 13 student workers.
Do they all work as ushers, or...?
They work various positions. They're primarily ushers, but the student workers are also box office personnel. They help with our ticket sales. They are also admin assistants in a way, because there's a lot of administrative things that need to be done, and so they help us carry out the smaller details, which by any means are not really easy. It's kind of tedious, but they're very helpful in helping us with those tasks to get those done.
What are some of the challenges of your position then?
Of my position? The biggest challenge would probably be organization. I know that's part of the job. As an event manager and event coordinator, there are lots of unforeseen circumstances that happen. Some are foreseen, there are some that are unforeseen, like weather or even bad traffic or a performer being late. Those are things that we expect to happen. Organization is something that is key, and it's something that has to be done, I think, on every end of the spectrum, from the person who requested the event to the student worker that's actually helped usher and execute the event. So it's very important that everyone's organized and on the same page.
So what did you do before you came to UT Dallas?
Before I came to UT Dallas, I was the director of sales for a pharmaceutical company. I did that for about a year, and it was very similar to what I do now, because I also helped plan the events for the pharmacy. Before that, I was a event coordinator for, the name has changed, I can't remember what the name is now, Texas Entertainment Group. And so I got to do all aspects of event planning. There's the social side, where there's weddings, bar mitzvahs, anniversaries, things of that nature. Then there's the corporate side, where you're doing meeting plannings, you're doing events for companies and things of that nature. That's a little less emotional and more technical.
What educational background do you have?
I have my Associate of Science degree in psychology from Navarro Junior College, and I have my Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from this university, from the University of Texas at Dallas. So I'm an alumni.
Okay, so how does having a degree in psychology help you with your work?
I think it helps me understand the mindset of everything better. Most people that work in this field either have some type of certificate or degree in management or hospitality. I think my psychology degree has been helpful, because it kind of helps me understand the human aspect of things and be more open to seeing things from all sides. So it's been very helpful, since I do work with people on a regular basis, and that's my job. It's a very social type of work that I do, and it helps to know your customer's mindset when you work in the customer service industry?
Can you think of anything that I haven't asked you that would be interesting for me to ask?
I can let you know a few of stories for backgrounds.
That would be great.
For events. Some of the event mishaps, how they've been corrected. I think that would be a way to describe it. From the social aspect, aside from this job, when I did it for Texas Entertainment Group and we performed a wedding, we had a bride come in while I was setting up for the reception. And I want to say that it's not always the bride. The brides get a bad rap a lot of the times for weddings, and it can be anywhere from the bride to the groom to someone on the bridal side of the family to the groom side of the family to just some random stranger that wants to cause trouble. So that being said, I was in the very corner, almost done with the reception, and she comes in and she's immediately upset because the flower and ribbon arrangements were not the right shade of pink. I want to say they were all magenta and she wanted fuchsia. So it seems a little weird that someone would be upset about one shade difference, but she was adamant that something be done about it. And she was also upset because the groom's cake was more funny and I guess would get more attention than the bridal cake. So what we did in that particular situation was, we talked to her, we asked her what we could do to make the situation better, to calm her down. We offered her a couple of drinks to calm her down. And we got her to realize, the color being off, everything matched. So it wasn't like she had some fuchsia items and some magenta items. Everything matched. It looked well together as far as the cakes were concerned. The groom's cake is supposed to be funny, and we kind of explained that to her, but everyone's going to pay attention to her cake. We even called the cake decorator back to make that cake a little bit more fancy. So that made her happy. In the end, it was a good result. I learned the importance of RSVPs. I am single myself, and it's something that you never really think about when someone sends an RSVP. To explain that on the event side, there's amount of costs and fees that are associated with everything. So that RSVP is there, one, to let the people who are in charge of the event and who are paying for the event know how much they need to spend. On the other side of that, it also gives them a head count, because you're only allowed to have so many people within a given space for fire and safety codes. So let's say only 20 people RSVP for any particular event and 100 people show up. You obviously are not going to have enough food and drinks and accommodations for 100 people. So that's something that's very important. And I know personally that slips my mind every now and then, but I have to remind myself that there's someone else that's planning this and they're paying for this, and this is something that they really need to know. So those are important. If you don't understand the importance of RSVPs, always try to get those back, even if it's at the last minute. Let that person that sent that out know that you're going to be there. And the main thing to events is just to take a deep breath and try to be respectful as you can of everyone else around you, and just try to stay calm about things. There are certain things that you can't control, like rain or a snowstorm or something that's just out of that ordinary that you just didn't see coming, especially if you're in Texas. The weather just changes all the time. But you just learn to accommodate and deal with that, and you make the best of situations.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.